I had one of those weekends where like I just was loving my PS3. Well, not my PS3. It was a debug because I had to take it home to play some games that aren't out yet. But one of the things that I was playing was Everyday Shooter. And most of the people that I talked to after E3 had said that they thought it was good, but that the shooting felt a little bit slow and your movement felt a little bit slow. But when I got home and played it, one of the first things I did, which is going to make my impressions different than your guys' probably, is that they'd given us cheat codes to just kind of unlock everything. And I'm not the best player of these kind of Robotron-style shooters, so I just want to make sure that like I saw all the stages that I could see.
Yeah.
So I gave myself a bunch of lives and just hopped right in. I really think that the way that, you know, the stages are put together, where there's a timer at the bottom of the screen that's basically like a track counter in an MP3 program, where you're basically playing through the length of a song, then going through a transition, and then playing the next stage is like the next song. So you play through the game like listening to an album once you can actually beat all the stages, which I'm sure you probably can't do when you first hop into the game.
I think you start playing it and you want to play it like Super Stardust or Geometry Wars, and you can't.
No.
Because, but much like Geometry Wars, there are stages where you're better served by not shooting anything for a while.
I thought it was just going to be essentially a shooter, like one of those types of shooters, but with nice, you know, res-like graphics. But the gameplay changes on every single stage. The combo systems and the way the gameplay changes, like that is by far the most interesting thing about the game.
Part of the challenge is learning what it is. In the first stage it's fine because it annotates everything and it's like, okay, shoot this and this will happen, and then, but even the mechanics and the behavior of that, so it'll tell you shoot this to get the combo, and you do, and you know it creates that little warp field thing, and you see that it zaps everything around it, but you start to wonder, well, okay, is it when something touches it? Because then there's a thing where if you shoot something near it, as it explodes, you can set off the chain reaction. So there's the behavior of the chain reactions. Right. And just as you learn that, the track goes out. And you hit the next level, and all the behavior is different. You'd play it and learn it, and then you'd kind of get really good, and then you'd kind of push yourself over that threshold, and then immediately die and have to go back to the beginning. And then you have that old school shooter behavior where you're like, alright, well now I have to plod through this level again to get to the next one. But you get, as you go through, you get so proficient at the stuff that you've learned, because you're not just reacting to it being a shooter, you have learned the behavior, to the point you get so efficient at nailing these combos, and you start chaining things like crazy. And then it's actually a race to get all the little 200 blobs before they disappear.
That's the thing, is I felt like I got pretty good at it. Even I was playing it properly, even though I just was not afraid of ever dying, really. You know what I mean?
I think life management is something that it really leans on pretty hard.
How far did you guys get? That's what I'm
I played this week. I got to the fourth. I unlocked till a fourth stage or something like that.
Which is the one after the eye stage.
It's the eye. It's the eye, and then it goes like, they say these two floating look like nuclei, and they're shooting out these like, I don't know, like birds or like raven thing. Yeah.
That stage has cloud cover, where the like giant floating orbs can get behind them.
Yeah.
What I found was the best strategy for those, because actually the combo in that beginning part of the stage is to just kill the giant floating orb and let all the black things be on the screen, because then they come off as the multiple glowing 2-point worth points. You notice that how the points can either be solid or they're glowing. So if you just kind of take a tight perimeter right around the like glowing orb thing, you can eventually take it down. And then after you kill both those guys, there's like these red Baron little planes that fly across the screen. love the way that the game changes moods. It's like one stage feels like this like noise metal, My Bloody Valentine, like fucking hardcore shit, whereas and then like right after that you're into this like ambient, beautiful, peaceful, calming stage.
You have to go pick up the points. Like just by shooting something and killing it doesn't mean like you get the points automatically.
Right.
And I noticed, which I like that challenge, but one thing I noticed is that you almost have to stand there.
It's not like when you get close to something, it sucks it in automatically. When you get close, it's like a magnet. It'll start drawing things towards you, but it's not going to follow you indefinitely. You only have a very small kind of magnetic field around your little, whatever it is, ship.
And you can use those points to buy like more lives, so you can start off with like what, 1 life to always at the beginning or something, and then you can buy the upgrade to start out with 4 lives or start with 5 lives, or even though you might not be the best player to begin with, you do have like these little incentives to keep playing.
Is travel mode unlocked from the beginning?
No.
What is that?
Travel mode is genius, and I really think it should be unlocked from the beginning, and I don't think it is. What it is it's like playing through the full game, except for you can't get hit by any of the bullets or any of the enemies. It's a game, right? This is a game. Mm-hmm. But I also think that it serves. It's also kind of like an interactive album, video / art project thingy, and because it has a fun
kind of project where you're doing things in time with the music.
It's like listening to an album, but with gameplay. The sounds relate to what you're doing on screen and all this stuff. So the traveling mode basically makes it like, you know, like I said, the game's a finite length. It's going to end after all the tracks end. So like, you can just listen to it or experience it like a record. I think. Their effects, post-processing effects for the graphics. There's one that makes it look like it's all sketchy, or one that makes it all black and white, or one that increases or decreases the contrast, or one that blends all the colors in the background. It does look really cool, and it changes the experience.
You unlock shuffle mode because it'll shuffle the levels up. Right?
I actually unlocked shuffle mode, and it was weird because, you know, after all, like you said, doing the same first level over, doing the second level over and over, it kind of gets like you get in that rhythm, but it's kind of like boring after a while. It's just a nice way to change up, like, you know, going back and trying these things over and over again, which was cool. I thought that was a ingenious part of it.
It's a nice way to extend the music metaphor a little bit, the way people listen to music.
When the game comes out, when it finally gets released, I'm going to buy it, and I'm going to start at the beginning and play for a while. I think you guys should do the same, but if you get to the point where you're just feeling frustrated and don't want to play anymore, do the cheat. And unlock everything and just play, sort of just absorb it and play it, because that's what I did. And I was just like, wow, this is like really smart. There's so many good ideas in here. I can't believe one guy made this. John, you fucking rock. That game's awesome.
That's the thing about the game, is that like it's a good story behind this game. It's one guy, you know, making this game. Like, you know, when do you ever hear about one person making a video game these days?
Games used to be 10, 15 years ago, you know?
It's honestly refreshing. Maybe part of me likes the game a little bit more than I should because of that fact.
I really think that from an artistic standpoint, this is like just a really genius craft.
I can't wait to see what he does next.
Yeah.